Hello. Who do you like hanging around with? Do you have friends that encourage you and lift you up? Or are you surrounded by people who constantly need picking up and dusting down before anything happens? Today I've been thinking about how we get things done, and should we take shortcuts, just to get the job done, even if it's not the right thing to do or the right way to work. My name is Ian Currey, and this is another episode of Thinking Out Loud. Come on, let me tell you what I think. Living here in the United States, you would think I would be just fine with language and understanding what people are saying. But sometimes things go very wrong. When I'm flying, there's an automated call system that I have to interact with regularly. Once I dial the number, there are various options that are supposed to recognize what I'm saying. Now, one of the most common is for me to have to say crew scheduling. So I have to say schedule. The system routinely responds, "I don't understand, please try again." And this is much to the amusement of the rest of my crew. I have then to say scheduling rather than scheduling before the computer assistant will tell me where I'm flying next. In the meantime, I often say things like, "Oh, not again," to which the computer says, "Okay, say again. I'll repeat that for you. Here you are. Here are your options." And this just makes the crew chuckle, and they look at me and point. And several minutes can go by before I finally take a big breath and say, scheduling, under protest. Now, what's interesting, though, is that at the same time my crew are all chuckling, they're watching how I react to this situation. These silly little things can show a lot about us, can't they? Do I get overly cross or frustrated? Am I impatient? And when I finally talk to my friends in scheduling, do I sound irritated or am I gentle and kind? How we react to things shows what we're made of and what's really inside us deep down, doesn't it? How do you react to difficult situations? Do you sometimes get all flustered and cross and angry and then say something like, "Well, I had to get angry to get the job done"? Or perhaps when you're finally through to a human instead of dealing with one of those robot things, you take it out on the person at the other end by saying, "Finally," or "and about time." Well, I always try to be kind on the phone in situations like that. And when the person at the other end asks, "Is there anything else I can do for you?" I'll sometimes say, "No, not unless you can make coffee over the phone." And we have a chuckle about that. Being nice or gentle is important and can make such a difference in people's lives, who, after all, can't help it if I can't say scheduling. Well, not the right way anyway. Now, Paul has something to say about this when he writes to his friends in Ephesus. "Always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowances for each other's faults because of your love." Well, it's easy for him to say. He's a preacher, apostle type, right? Well, it's worth reading the verse right before this, which would tell you that Paul has found himself in prison again for doing the right thing. Clearly, sometimes being nice and gentle and relying on the right way of doing things doesn't seem to always work out the way we want it to, does it? Should we just get on with it And instead of doing the right thing, get over that and be a little bit mean and nasty to get what we need done. After all, it seems to work. Should we tell a lie here or there, or cut corners with safety or whatever, to get there quicker? Well, once I used the safety word, it made a few of my friends sit up a bit. In my job, flying around in aircraft, there's absolutely no room for cutting corners with safety. So that can't be right, can it? So often, though, society today seems to accept that nasty or mean is okay so long as it's with good intention. That whole doing evil that good would come idea, we all know it's wrong, but sometimes we slip into it anyway, don't we? It's just so tiring being nice sometimes, isn't it? But then I wondered about that. Why is it tiring? Is it really worth the effort? If that's who we are, nice, honest, respectable, why would it be hard? Surely nice should come out naturally, right? What's in us eventually spills out, and of course, if nice is in there, that's what comes out, and especially when we're under pressure. But we have to constantly work on removing those bad ideas and prejudice and the blind spots and wrong assumptions and so on that we make about people. And we need to stay sharp and focus on the nice parts of our character. See, character doesn't just happen by accident. No, we have to actively reject bad ideas and practices long before we expect our natural reaction to be kind and gentle. It can be really hard work too, especially if something's in us and has been ingrained for a long time and needs to change. And sometimes it just seems to work better when we don't even bother. Paul again says something about this. So let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. Well, that harvest of blessing thing sounds nice, doesn't it? But, you know, I think I want to be remembered for being a nice person with a gentle character far more than having a ton of blessing. Although that would be nice too, wouldn't it? Let's not stop doing good just because other people seem to get further by being nasty and mean. In the end, I think, despite Paul finding himself in prison, God will have looked on his gentle nature and character and the way Paul followed good and godly attitudes and allowed those to fill his life with far more of a, that's my boy, I'm proud of you, child thing as a result. Yes, I think doing the right thing and in the right way is what I want to do, even if others get ahead and seem to prosper. How about you? How do you react in difficult situations? How do you want to be remembered? As a lean, mean machine, or as someone who is gentle and kind? And in case you're wondering, it's scheduling, not scheduling. After all, it's called English for a reason. Until next time, goodbye.